Hey y'all. So I never talked about this publicly, ever on any platform. And for the ones that do know me, of me knows, like, I don't tell my business. I don't put my business out there. I'm just not one of those people. But I've decided to share this with y'all on how my mom passed away from witchcraft. So she passed away right beside me back in 2012. She was 43 years old. And the person that put the witchcraft work on her was her sister, my aunt. We're going to call that Aunt Wanda, okay? Mom and Aunt Wanda was favorite sisters, right? They actually got a house in the same neighborhood. We all lived in the same neighborhood because they were so close, and we would go to Aunt Wanda's house just about every day. So throughout my childhood, I've always seen spirits, forms, shadows, figures, heard things. But I'm a kid, so I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what's going on, right? Fast forward, my mom was dating this guy, and he was our stepdad for years. Great man. He was our stepdad for years. I remember one time, y'all, we in the house, and he ended up waking up, and he was very disturbed when he woke up. So my mama had her bed. It was her bed, the mirror. You know how you had the mirror closet? It was the mirror closet and then the door. So he was like, when he woke up, he saw a shadow figure standing over my mom. Same house, right? I'm at the computer. I'm like fifth grade. I'm at the computer. I look down the hallway. If you look to my right, it's me and my sister room. We had shared a room. Me and my sister room. I saw a figure walk across the door. Y'all remember, y'all parents or grandparents, remember those big behind pictures that used to make like bird chirps and rainfall noises, and it lit up like the waterfall lit up? It was glass. A lot of people not gonna believe me. My mom had that on her wall. The picture fell off the wall, fell on the floor, and broke. I ended up getting my brother and telling my brother, like, hey, the picture just broke, da-da-da-da-da. He's trying to find a broom to clean it up. By the time he gets the broom and we go back to clean it up, it's back together. Believe it, don't believe it, I don't care. I know what happened. I had a lot of incidents happen like that. I might make another video on my incidents happening, but I really feel like a lot of this stuff was happening to me because of the work she was doing to my mom. Fast forward, my mom used to be a heavy-set woman, right? My aunt is still heavy-set to this day. But my mom used to be a heavy-set woman, and she ended up slimming down. She ended up losing her weight and slimming down to literally like my size, right? I'm 5'7", she's 5'6", we was kind of the same size. Out of nowhere, my mom's stomach started getting big, like real big, as if she was pregnant. Her stomach just getting big and big and big. So she goes to the doctor. The doctor tells her it's nothing wrong with her. But her stomach is big, but nothing's wrong with her. All right, so her health is getting really, really bad. She ended up going to another doctor, and they told her that she has high blood pressure, kidney failure, liver disease, and issues with her heart going on. All of these things. Mind you, she just went from perfectly healthy to all of these things going on, right? Okay. So one day we're at my grandma's house, and it has to be a holiday because that's the only time like all the family would get together at my grandma's house, and I'm 12. So we at my grandma's house, and by this time my mom's on a walker. So she's like looking really depressed, sitting in the chair. She's looking really, really depressed. So I have another aunt that's a pastor. We're gonna call that Aunt Pam. So Pam was gonna move back to where she was from, which was a different state, but she said God told her it wasn't time for her to move yet. She ended up taking my mom to a psychic. You know, back then, a lot of people ain't believe in psychics and all of that stuff, but she took my mom to go see one. The lady described Aunt Wanda, I was gonna say her real name, Aunt Wanda and her daughter as the one that put the work on my mom. They put it in my mom's food, because remember, we went over there every day just about. They put something in my mom's food, and she ate it. And that's how all of this stuff started happening to her body. The psychic gave my mom this jar. It looks like swamp water. Like it was all different stuff mixed up into this jar or whatever, right? Every time my mom drank it, she would throw up. The psychic told my mom she has snakes in her stomach, and that's why her stomach was growing as rapidly as it was growing. So she's throwing up every time she's drinking this stuff. Any house we lived in, y'all, I saw stuff, heard stuff, felt stuff. Any house, it didn't matter where we moved to. Didn't matter. And in all the houses, my mom couldn't sleep. She couldn't sleep for nothing. Like, we literally would have to rub her to sleep, like rub her back to sleep, because she couldn't find comfort to sleep at all. So she ended up telling Aunt Pam, like, she couldn't sleep in the house. Before that, so one day, y'all, me and my sister was sitting in the living room. My mom was in her room. So it was my mom's room, the living room, all of our rooms. My brother's friend came over. He's like, I'm just going to wait for, your brother until he gets home in the room. I was like, all right, cool. Me and my sister watching TV in the living room. So he goes in my brother's room, y'all, and he comes out. He doesn't say nothing. He just sits down on the couch with like a deer in headlights. Look. So I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, man, like, it's something in your brother's closet looking at me. Like I said, it was a lot of stuff that happened in every house. I'm not even telling y'all half of what happened. Like, I'll probably put that in another video. So fast forward, like I said, my mom is telling Aunt Pam, she can't sleep in the house. Aunt Pam comes over with like her pastor friends and stuff. They end up spraying all of this stuff around. They sprayed it inside our house. They sprayed it outside our house. They took this salt and they put it at my mom's bedroom door. So they didn't put it at the entrance door when you first enter the house. They put it at the bedroom door. Days go by. Aunt Wanda comes over because my mom and Aunt Wanda locked in as sisters. Aunt Wanda comes over. Do y'all know Aunt Wanda talked to my mom from the bedroom door? I'm in the room with my mom, sitting on the bed with her. She talked to my mom from the bedroom door. The lady never crossed over the threshold of where the salt was at. Never did. It was so weird. And imagine seeing that as a kid. Okay, so fast forward, we ended up going to church because, like I said, my aunt is a pastor, but this particular day she's not preaching. It's another woman preaching, but Aunt Pam invited Aunt Wanda. So Aunt Wanda came as well. You know how, like, at church, the pastor will pick on whoever they're drawn to and ask them to come forward? So the pastor told Aunt Wanda to come forward. She went down there, y'all. I don't know what the pastor said to her. Aunt Wanda started throwing up green stuff. Like, I'm visualizing it as I'm telling y'all. She's throwing up green stuff, right? That was her first and last time ever coming back to our church. Okay, so days go by. And my mom ended up getting extremely sick, y'all. She's extremely sick. She ended up having to go to the hospital. She's in ICU. It's me, my Aunt Pam, my other aunt and her husband. So we're all in a room. My mom machine flatline. She dies. Aunt Pam is like, rushing all of us out the room. I don't know what she did, what she said. I don't know what happened because I wasn't in the room. But when we came back in the room, my mom was back alive. So when that incident happened, my Aunt Pam told my mom not to go back around Aunt Wanda. But of course, it's going to be hard because my mom was like, that was her ace boom cool. Like, Aunt Wanda, my mom was locked in. I'm running out of time. I'm not going to have time to finish this. I'm going to make a part 2. Because I left out so much stuff, y'all. But I'm going to make a part 2 leading up to her death. Because I don't know why I thought I could cram this in 10 minutes. I can't. So y'all come back for part 2, man. Okay, y'all, this is part 2 on how my mom got alive from witchcraft. So the main question I keep getting asked is, why did Aunt Wanda do it to my mom if they were so close? So the main reason was jealousy and envy, being envious, y'all. So remember in the first video how I told y'all they both was plus size? Well, my mom ended up losing weight and slimming down. So she wasn't plus size anymore. So she's getting all this attention from men and everything else. And my Aunt Wanda did not like that. I have had conversations with my grandmother about Aunt Wanda passed and about my mom passing and everything. And my grandma, this is from my grandma's mouth, like, she told me that Aunt Wanda always had a jealous, envious character, spirit. Like, she was always that way. Even when they was kids, she cut off her sister ponytails because she had long hair. So while having these conversations with my grandmother told me that my Aunt Wanda daddy practiced all of that stuff. And my Aunt Wanda wanted her dad to teach her. And her dad told her no. So she went on her own and started like getting these different type of books that would teach her how to do it. And she started going to like graveyard sites, practicing within the graveyard, taking graveyard dirt from the graveyard sites to complete her magic at home, and just all type of stuff, y'all. Like, me and my grandmother had so many conversations so I can get the backstory and everything. But originally it's because of jealousy. Okay, so to give y'all some more insight on some of the stuff that I saw as a kid, and to answer your question, yes, I still see stuff, hear stuff to this day. It's just not as frequent as it was back then. One time, I'm in our den, I'm on the computer. I'm always on the computer, huh? I know y'all remember them chat rooms. Yeah, I was one of them. I was in the chat rooms. Anyway, so I'm on the computer, and it's a knock at the door. At our back door, it's a knock. Everyone else is, my mom, my brother, my sister upstairs sleep. It's a knock at the door. So I go look out the blind. No one's there. Mind you, it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning that I'm up. No one's there. So I get back on the computer, typing away. It's a knock again. I go look out the window. This time it scares me. That did scare me. So I just end up running upstairs and getting in my bed. I never turned the computer off. I just ran away. Okay, so same house. So I'm getting home. I go into my mom's room, and then I go into her bathroom. So when you come out of her bathroom and you look straight down, it's our bathroom. And it's pitch black because our bathroom didn't have no window or nothing like that. So I come out of my mom's bathroom. I look immediately down the hallway. Believe it or not, it's floating red eyes in my bathroom. So I immediately ran into my mom's closet. I'm a kid. I'm 5th grade. I immediately ran into my mom's closet. And I honestly don't even remember what happened after that. That particular day. Like, it would be times, y'all, I would go to sleep and I would wake up with bruises, mainly on my back. I had like big bruises on my back. And when my mom saw them, she thought they was like dirt spots. I'm a kid. She thought it was dirt spots. And she took alcohol pads trying to like get it clean, but they would never go anywhere. So then it was a time my mom and another family member was in a car. They was going somewhere. So they was at an intersection. And they end up look to the left, they look to the right, nothing. As soon as they go out to drive, they got T-boned by a car. My mama had a scar across her chest because the seatbelt burnt her so bad, the EMS told her another inch, she would have passed away. Someone rolled by the accident, Someone rolled by the accident and told her to check under her seat. Under her seat was a doll. So some of y'all that was in my live earlier saw my cousin in my live. She actually had an experience as well. So my cousin, she dated my cousin. So she's actually my cousin baby mama, but you know what we do. We call everybody cousins. So my cousin and his baby mama is at Aunt Wanda's house. And keep in mind, my cousin and his baby mama is living with us at the time. So they're at Aunt Wanda's house because my cousin is introducing his girlfriend, baby mama, to my aunt. So they're in the house, they're meeting, they're cooking, they're chopping it up. And you know how like older people have like a photo collage on their wall? Like all the pictures is just like together closely on their wall. My mom picture fell off the wall in front of my cousin girlfriend. And it made her so uncomfortable that she didn't want anything else to do with Aunt Wanda or her house. She wanted to leave. And that's what they had left. Another thing I want to add in here, y'all, I don't know what my aunt was, I don't know everything she was practicing, but I seen this woman move stuff without touching it. Believe it, don't believe it. Like I said last video, I truly don't care. I've seen her move spoons and cups without touching it by looking at it off the table, you know? So I'm getting all these comments about like, why do your moms still go around her? You got to think about it, y'all. We talking about 2009, 10, 11, 12. People don't really believe in that stuff like that. And I'm a kid. There ain't nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? So it's love when you love somebody and you don't believe what's going on or you don't understand what's going on. You can't say how you would react until you're in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2025 now. This in your face. We're talking about back in the day. Like, so I don't know why she still would around her, y'all. I don't. Okay, so fast forward. My mom's kidneys are starting to fail. So now she has to get the surgery to get the vascular access to start her dialysis. So at first, she got it in her arm, y'all. And it ended up getting infected so bad. Like, my mom's arm was so swollen. Think of like a shark taking a bite out of your arm. That's literally how it looked. Like it was just open. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. She ended up having to get it done in her chest. So her arm was really, really jacked up. She ended up trying to sue the hospital for whatever reason that never was successful for her. Whew. Okay, my bad, y'all. Just bear with me. So my mom was on dialysis for years. She was on the list for a kidney transplant, but that just never happened. And then I remember one day she came home and her arm just kind of exploded. That's literally how I can describe it. It just exploded. Blood was everywhere. Like she had to get so many blood transfusions, y'all, because she fainted. She passed out it's me, my stepdad, my sister, my brother, we're all trying to help her, while calling 911. I'm just visualizing it as I'm talking about. This is hard, y'all. All right. So I remember seeing, like I said, we used to go to her house just about every day. I remember seeing like black figures, black shadows all around her house. And then I used to always get mad at my mom because like when we would go over there, like my little cousins was over there and they used to walk the block. That's what they think. They will always walk the block. And she will always want me to come with them. And I'm like, no, like I want to stay at her house. She would never let me stay at her house. And I used to always wonder, like, Dad, why can't I stay with my cousins? Like, why can't I stay at her house? She never would let me stay at her house. So, normally, well, if you know or you don't know or whatever, after you do certain work, you have to bury it in the ground. If I had my folder with all of with the pictures of me and my mom, I would show y'all. Like, I have a picture of me, my mom, and my sister in my aunt's yard. She had so many statues, flower pots, ponds crowded in her yard, y'all. And I ended up finding out every little statue that she had in her yard was because work that she has did was buried underneath it. I'm running out of time again, y'all. I'm so sorry. I told y'all on live earlier I'll do a part 3, 4, 5, whatever for y'all to keep this to keep y'all up to date on what has happened in my life. It is a lot. Just bear with me, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna make a part 3 for y'all.
I'm getting a lot of comments about this, y'all, and she already tried. I ended up finding out that when I was younger, she ended up taking my blood. I ended up falling and scraping myself, and that's how she had got it. So back in 2017, y'all, I got into 5 car accidents. Not my fault. And one of the cars actually appeared out of nowhere when I T-boned it. And then I used to have like these thoughts, like anytime I would drive, I would have these thoughts like crash your car, hit this, like while I'm going at a high speed. It was just like back to back, like someone is talking in my fucking head. So I ended up telling my PM, like, what's going on, this, that, and the third. And she was like, Lex, like, get rid of that car. So I ended up getting rid of the car. I traded it in for another car. So fast forward, I end up going to, and one thing, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in all of that. But for y'all that just be like, oh, just pray, that's not going to fucking work. I'm sorry, prayer alone is not going to fucking work. Okay? So anyway, I ended up going to a practitioner to get everything removed off of me and everything. It took 3 times for the candle to light. 3 times for it to light. And for y'all that don't know, whenever something is done on you, it actually can affect the people that surround you as well. So at the time, I was dating this guy, and he ended up having major health issues. He was perfectly healthy. Because I ended up I'm asking him one day, like, yo, was you perfectly healthy before you got with me? And he was like, yeah. But he ended up having these liver issues or whatever. And they ended up putting him on like all these type of medications and stuff. I can't remember the exact term he was diagnosed with. It's fucking long. But anyway, I ended up learning about herbs, teaching myself about herbs and stuff like that. So I took him to go get a foot detox. I actually went to a whole other state, took him to get a foot detox, and everything that was in his body came out in the detox. So it was this big ass book, y'all, at this store. Oh, I need to stop cussing. It was this big book at this store, and it had every disease in it. It had his disease and it had the herbs for it. And me and him are not together right now, but till this day, like, he still takes his herbs. When we had went back to the doctor for him to get I think it's a colonoscopy, whenever they take part of your liver out, his liver did a whole 180, y'all. And we told the doctors, like, hey, we're, taking these herbs, da 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 da. The doctors told him to stop taking the herbs. Needless to say, we never went back to the doctor. He continued taking the herbs or whatever. Anyway, y'all, I am highly protected. No, I'm not scared of her. This is why I say, that's why the caption in my first video is, if I knew then what I knew now. Like, to this day, I have protection on me. Like, sitting right beside my bed. Like, I'm not going to say exactly what I have, because this video is getting surfaced a lot, but I am protected. And yes, I am shown things honestly before it even happens. But I am gonna make a part 3. And it's just it's so much, y'all. I'm so sorry. And for some of y'all that's saying the story is everywhere, you gotta remember, I'm talking about from being a kid up until I'm 16. It's no way in the world. It's no way in the world I'm gonna remember this in chronological order. Okay, I'm telling y'all as it's coming to my mind, because again, it's hard, like trying to map out what you're gonna talk about. No, I turn that camera on, and then whatever comes to my mind that I can remember, that's what I'm telling y'all. Okay, and I'm sure it's a lot of stuff that I don't even remember anymore because I suppressed these memories. I did, but anyway, I will be recording part 3 soon. Stay tuned, y'all.
All right, so this is part 3 on how my mom got unalive from Witchcraft. So a lot of the questions I keep getting asked is if I still talk to her. No, I don't talk to this woman. Okay, I do have 3 encounters with her after my mom. This is after my mom had passed away. I will let y'all know that in another part towards the end. Another question is, do my family still talk to her? Yes, some of them still talk to her, but I don't know the nature of their relationship because I don't even talk to them. So also, I forgot to mention, y'all, outside of her having high blood pressure, kidney failure, liver disease, and heart problems, she also had thyroid problems. Like, they used to be so huge in her neck. A lot of y'all also was asking to see a picture of my mom, y'all. She was beautiful. This is her. Okay, so pretty much after her arm did all of that, we went to the hospital and she had to get 6 pints of blood. So when we went home, that night or that morning, whenever we had got home, I remember I ended up it had to be that night because I woke up that morning and I had, like, my mom had brought me a lot of books. Like, I love reading books, but I had them like stacked under my bed for some reason. I'm under my bed looking for books and everything, and I feel someone behind me. So I'm talking to them because in my mind I'm thinking it's my sister, because my sister room was right beside mine. So I'm like, this is my sister behind me playing around, like, girl, what you want? Whatever I was saying at that time. End up turning around, no one's behind me. So then I went and peeked in my sister's room. She's asleep. So I'm just like, okay, that was a little weird. And also, like, and this is the same house, the last house that we had lived in. I used to be, like, scared to sleep with my closet open. It was my bed, and in front of my bed was my closet. And I used to be scared to, like, sleep with that closet door open. Like, okay, so at this point, I really feel like my mom didn't want to be on this earth anymore. So me and her was in the living room, and she ended up breaking down crying to me, telling me, like, she feels like she's a burden to her kids. She doesn't want to be that way anymore. Like, she can't take care of herself. And honestly, y'all, whew. In that moment, I actually did, okay, so, like, our thing we used to write poems together. So in that moment, I ended up writing her a poem. And I remember I attached a song for Mama from Boys to Men. I attached that song to it because I was real good with, like, PowerPoints. I love doing PowerPoints. That's how I made it, and I attached a song to it. And I remember Okay, so this is part 4 on how my mom got in alive from Witchcraft. Don't mind my band. I just installed my wig. Okay. Anyway, I believe in part 3 I left off at my Aunt Pam going to court for me and stuff like that. So she went to court for me, and the court approved for me to go stay with her. So the day that I went to go stay with her, the next day we went to go visit my mom. Me, my sister, and my grandmother went to go visit my mom. So we up there, we talking to her. My mom is getting out the hospital the next day. Literally the next day she was getting out. She's good. She's not on no more life support, like all of that. It's June 28th, 2012. That's the date. Remember, she was in the hospital since January, early January. So we was finna leave, and then out of nowhere, my mom just started crying. Like as we walking out, she busts out crying. So being that I didn't been to the hospital so many times with her, stayed with her and all of that, and I had just got to my aunt's house the night prior out of this group home, I'm like, I told my grandmother and my sister I'm gonna stay with her. So I did not, the aunt I was staying with, I did not call her and let her know I was staying up there. So we up there, we talking and stuff like that. And I end up going either to the gift shop or I went to the cafeteria. I can't remember, but I went to one of those because I always go to those. So I went to one of those. When I came back, my mom had food that wasn't from the hospital. She had food. So I asked her, I was like, who brought you the food? And she said her best friend. We're going to call her best friend KK. She said KK brought her the food. But it was like very swift. I got a hospital. So mind you, I'm going to the cafeteria or the gift shop. I was probably gone maybe up to 30 minutes because it's a long walk. So I'm like, okay. So I got in the chair. I'm sitting beside her and we talking and stuff like that. And then the nurse came in and checking her vitals and stuff like that. Everything is good. She good to go. So I'm laying down on the couch and stuff like that. And I hear her machine beeping. And it's beeping. And it's beeping. And it's beeping. So when I get up to touch her, she's getting cold. As I'm touching her hand and she's getting cold. So at this moment, I knew she was like passing away. I knew she was passing away. Well, right before her machine flatlined, I kissed her and I told her I loved her. She flatlined. And all the nurses came rushing in. Like the doctors came in and like trying to give her like the whatever that word is. Try to give her that CPR, all that stuff, but she was gone at that moment. So I called my aunt Pam. I called her and I was like, as soon as she picked up the phone, she was like, where are you at? Like, why didn't you tell me you was staying up there? And I was like, well, my mama just died. And she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like she just died or whatever. I can't even lie to you. I don't remember the rest of the conversation. So then I called my brother. I called my brother and I let him know like our mama just passed away, and he got extremely quiet on the phone. He didn't say nothing. And my sister was asleep. So when my cousins had went over there to our house to check on my brother and stuff, and when they told my sister, they woke my sister up to tell my sister, and she thought she was dreaming. She literally could not believe it. She thought it was a dream. So my grandma come up to the hospital and she gets me, and we end up going to another aunt's house, which that aunt was real close with my mom as well. So she broke down real bad. By this time it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Cause my mom passed away like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So a lot of y'all been asking me like, do my mom come visit me? Yes, she still come visits me. She visited me this night. So after we left my aunt's house, we end up going back to my other aunt house, my Aunt Pam house, the one that I'm staying with. We all stay there. Me, my grandma, my sister, we all stay there. And my mom came to visit me. We're sitting in a church, and I'm sitting behind her. And remember how I told y'all in part 3, she kept, like, every time I would go up there, she would write on the paper, like, she wants to go home. She kept telling me she wants to go home, but I'm 16 at the time, so I'm thinking she want to go to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So I asked her, when she said that she kept wanting to go home, did she mean heaven? And she was like, yeah. So it kind of put my mind at ease because I feel like she prepared me for her passing. And she passed away the last day I was able to see her, because mind you, I just got out of that group home the night prior. Okay, so fast forward, we're planning the arrangements for her funeral. I'm not going to get into much. I'm not going to get too much into it, but let's just say my mom set away some money for me and my siblings with her insurance, because she did have insurance, life insurance, and let's just say we never saw it. So I'm gonna keep that like that. Okay, so fast forward, we at her funeral, and I did go up there and I said a poem to my mom, and I also said final words to her as well. Mind you, Aunt Wanda came to the funeral. All right, y'all. I actually have to stop right here. I'm finna head out. I will pick up where I left off at. Cause it gets freaking crazy, y'all. So come back for part 5. I'm so sorry. I should have recorded this earlier before I had to leave. But I promise you, I'm gonna drop part 5 soon. Okay, so this is part 5 on how my mom got alive from witchcraft, not once but twice. I believe in part 4 I left off at her funeral. So we're at her funeral, and I went up there and I said my final goodbyes, and I read a poem to her. Now, mind you, Aunt Wanda is at the funeral. So Aunt Wanda ended up telling another aunt, oh, she must have something to do with her mom's death, because why she not crying? So after the service, the aunt came and told me what she said, and I'm just like, excuse me? Like, what? But when my mom passed, remember when I told y'all, when I came back from the cafeteria or the gift shop, wherever I came back from, she had food, and I always felt like something was wrong with the food. I always felt like this was not right. Mind you, she's getting out the hospital the next day. It's just no way in the world she could have went from here to, so I just knew in my heart something was up with that food. So my mom passed away June 28, 2012 is when she passed away. I had to go to military school July. I had to leave. It was court order. I had to leave military school. Luckily, my sister did come with me, so I did spend 6 months in military school, and I got my GED there as well. I ended up graduating December 14th, 2012. I graduated. I came back to my city, ended up meeting this guy or whatever. We, chopping it up. One thing led to another. Fast forward, I get pregnant. So I'm 17. I'm also in college, and I'm working. So no, I don't want the kid. Okay, so I found out I was pregnant. His peoples end up having a dream I was pregnant, and I'm just like, no, I ain't pregnant. And then one day, I used to work at KFC, so I came home from work one day, and I literally had a case of Gerber baby milk on my dresser. So my grandma like, are you pregnant? And I'm like, girl, no, I'm not pregnant. What the hell? So I was like, you know what? This is just too close. Let me get on birth control. I went to my birth control appointment. They told me I was 5 weeks pregnant. So I'm just like, no. Like, I got all this stuff going on. I don't need a baby. So they set me up at the OBGYN. I went to my appointment to get an abortion. We're sitting in the room with the doctor, and he's like, do you want to know when you conceived? And I said, yeah. They told me I conceived March 19th. March 19th is my mother's birthday. I conceived March 19th, 2013. When he told me that date, I was like, you know what? I don't want no abortion. I'ma just, be a mom, raise my kid the best way that I know how. That kind of sealed the deal for me. Like, it's no way in the world, out of all the days, I got pregnant on her birthday and I'm gonna abort my baby. Like, that was a done deal for me. I kept my son. Okay, so fast forward, I'm at the hospital and I have my son. Mind you, I'm living with my grandmother right now as well. I have my son. Aunt Wanda called the hospital. Like, congratulate. I'm confused, because how the fuck you even know I'm pregnant? I don't talk to you, none of that. So she calls the hospital, congratulate me, this, that, and the third. Kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, thank you, whatever. I come home back to my grandma's house with my son. He was still a newborn. He wasn't even a month old. So I'm in the bed sleep. My son in his bassinet. We're asleep. I wake up, and Aunt Wanda is standing at my door to my room, watching us sleep. And it was just the weirdest thing to me. And it scared the fuck out of me, because why am I waking up watching you at my door, watching us sleep? So she walks in the room and she asks us to see my son. And she asks us to hold him. And I told her she couldn't hold him because he's asleep and I don't want him to be woken up. That was the excuse I gave. I mean, even if he wasn't asleep, I would have protected my son anyway, because I know what you do. Like, you wouldn't have helped my son anyway. But it was just, I couldn't get over the fact, why the fuck are you staring at me and watching me and my son sleep from the door? It was mind blowing to me. Okay, so fast forward, I moved out my grandmother's house. I got my own spot, but I'm still visiting her. So this particular day, I decided to pop up and visit her. So when I got there, my sister and my cousin, they was already there. We saw Aunt Wanda coming around the corner. She didn't give no heads up she was coming or nothing. She coming around the corner. My cousin like, oh, that's Aunt Wanda. I go in the house. I go in the bathroom. And I'm like trying to act like I'm doing something with my hair because I don't want to see this woman, don't want to talk to her, don't want to have any encounter with her at all. So I'm in the house. So my cousin come in the house and she's like, Aunt Wanda want to see you, like she want to talk to you. Mind you, her grandkids has been reaching out to me. That whole little family, grandkids, Aunt Wanda's daughters have been reaching out to me through social media. I never responded. Okay, so let me backtrack this. Before she came to my grandmother's house, right? Her daughter's daughter, which is my little cousin, she was like the black sheep of that family. And I always felt so bad for her growing up because she was treated so badly. So as we're older now, she reached out and she was like, that she wanted to hang out, this, that, and third. I'm like, girl, yeah, So I went and picked her up. This was like probably 2022, something like that. I went and picked, maybe 2021. I went and picked her up. We went to like the mall and stuff. We went back to her mom's house, which is Aunt Wanda's daughter. We went back to her mom's house and I went inside. So I spoke to my cousins. I spoke to her mom and stuff like that. The next day, that's when I ended up getting a phone call that either the cousin I hung out with or her mom, which is Aunt Wanda's daughter, told Aunt Wanda that I was at the house. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I don't know why that was important information to tell her that I was at the house and hanging out with you, whatever. Cut her off. Never talk to that cousin again. Cut her off. Fast forward, this is when after she popped up at the house. So my cousin like, she want to see you. She want to talk to you. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. She's like, girl, come on, let's just go outside. I'm like, okay. So I go outside and y'all, I couldn't even look this woman directly into her eyes. Like, it won't her. She's been gone a very, very long time. You can tell it won't her. You can feel it won't her. It's just, the eyes was just, it was not her. And she kept asking me like, if I can do her hair. Mind you, I'm a hairstylist too, y'all. She wanted me to do her hair. Now, she has had her I don't know if she had them reach out or maybe they reached out on their own, but her grandkids at that time was reaching out to me for me to do their hair. And I just would never respond back. I wouldn't respond back to any of them. So she's asking me to do her hair. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. And back in my head, lady, I would never fucking touch you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I got you. Whatever. That was kind of the interaction. And she ended up leaving. I went back in the house. So fast forward, I'm in my house that I currently own now. And my mom came to visit me because I was going through a really hard time because honestly, y'all, it broke me down so bad growing up because I really felt like her unaliving was my fault. I don't want to cry, but I really felt like it was my fault because I always felt like if I didn't leave the room, she would never got the food. Like, or if I would have stayed in here, I would have saw who brought it, or I would have known what happened. Maybe I could have stopped it. Like being 16, that's all that was going through my head. It's like, I could have stopped this if I would never left the room. Okay, so she ended up visiting me. And I don't know whether I'm astral projecting because I saw myself sleep or this was just a dream or whatever. So she visits me and I'm imagine arguing with the fucking spirit. It's crazy, but we was arguing because I'm telling her like what happened with the food because all this time I knew something was not right with this food and she would not want to tell me, y'all. Like we're literally arguing back and forth because she didn't want to tell me what happened. So remember I told you when she was alive and I came back into the room and I saw the food, I'm like, who brought it? And she was like, KK. Okay, so what happened was Aunt Wanda was the one that made the food, but she knows she couldn't have been the one to take it to my mother. So she called KK and was like, hey, I'm not gonna say my mom's name, but such and such is expecting me to bring her some food, but I don't have time, to drop it off. Can you drop it off to her? And KK was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it to her. And I am running out of time. This is crazy. Like 10 minutes go by so fast when you're talking. I promise y'all, I'm not going to have y'all waiting so long for part 6. I do another part. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to cram this in, but I don't want to leave out too much information to where y'all get lost in the story. You know what I'm saying? Come back. I will be doing part 6. I'm sorry.
What's up, cousins? Okay, y'all, this is part 6. So I believe I left off at I'm astral projecting or I'm dreaming, and me and my mom is like going back and forth because I'm telling her like I know something was up with this food. So she would not want to tell me like what it was, and I'm to the point where I'm literally crying. Um I woke up crying too, but I'm literally crying because I knew something like was wrong with this food. So as she's telling me, she's like walking me through it where I can see what's going on. So she said that I wanted to call her best friend KK and was like, such and such is expecting me to bring her some food, but I don't have time. Can you run it to her up there? So KK like, yeah, of course. KK go gets the food. Then she brings it to my mom at the hospital, which was a little weird because this is her best friend. Mind you, I'm only gone for like 20, 30 minutes. So why did you leave within 20 to 30 minutes span? Do I think she had anything to do with it? No. Do I think she was controlled? Yes. Okay, so then my mom tells me that when she took a bite of the food, she noticed it was a very familiar taste with it, and that's why she didn't eat no more of it. And like literally a couple hours later, that's when she ended up passing away. Now she did say that she had a choice whether she wanted to continue living or just, and she chose to just, because she was already going through much physically. Like she was already, I mean, imagine being on dialysis, having 3 kids, you can't walk. We're pretty much like your caregivers, your family. Like our family tried to put my mom in a rest home or whatever. And I remember her crying in the living room, crying, begging to my cousin, my older cousin. She's like a second mom to me, but she was crying and begging to her for them not to put her in a rest home, like crying to us or whatever. So she was just going through it. So she chose to, go to the other side. Okay, so this is where the shit gets really creepy. Someone else is involved in this story, but that's not my story to tell, so I'm gonna skip that whole part. But I'm not sure if this lady was listening. I don't know what happened. Maybe some of y'all that's more educated in this or have experienced this or know about it can give me some insight in the comments. So mind you, I just moved into the house I built whenever my mom came to visit me. I was planning a housewarming in the physical world. I was planning a housewarming. So I either was dreaming or astral projected again because I saw myself sleep and I was in my house. In this realm, I'm having my housewarming. And like my family is like, all throughout my house, family and friends. It's a knock on the door. A family member answers it. It's Aunt Wanda. I've never in my fucking life had a dream about Aunt Wanda. Never visit her in any fucking time I astro. Never, ever. She walked in my house, did not say nothing. And she sat on the couch. So I peeked my head around the corner. Like I peeked my head around the corner. And she's on the couch facing towards me. Y'all remember that movie, Truth or Dare, or that movie Smile? That's the grin she had on her face. Like, I'm visualizing this shit now. That's the fucking grin she had on her face. And it just set me off. I caused hell in that, like in my dream or whatever the fuck I'm experiencing. I caused hell. I was cussing her out, fussing her out, all type of shit or whatever. And I ended up leaving my own house. Okay, I don't know how deep I want to get into this with y'all. So like I said in one of my other videos, I had a practitioner, and like I said, me and her had the same first and last name. I don't care about y'all views on this. I really don't. Anyway, so someone in my comment said that they believe Aunt Wanda had like spirits following me or listening in on conversations or whatever. It will be times, y'all, me and my practitioner would be talking and she would say, like my practitioner would say, she's listening right now. Like she can hear what we're talking about right now. She knows what we're talking about right now. I cannot get into this particular story because it's not my story to tell, but just know she advised one of my family members to do something. They did it. The next day we get on the phone with my practitioner, and she's like, she knew ahead of time that you was going to go do that, and she went ahead and like fixed it. I wish I can tell y'all, but it's just not my story to tell. I can't. So then I end up going to sleep. I astral projected or dreaming again. I'm in my house. But I went over to my other side of the house is like my streaming room or whatever, right? So I walked to the other side of my house, and like everything is like disrupted. Like shit is flying everywhere. Shit is coming off the walls. Think of like a tornado in your house. That's kind of how it was or whatever. So I ended up getting in my car, leaving, and I went to pick up my best friend. I'm telling her like what's going on. Okay, so I forgot to mention when my mom was visiting me and was telling me what had happened, she had used Aunt Wanda had used herbs that kind of counteracted with my mom's body. So you know, if you have like a certain disease or a certain problem going on, certain herbs you can't consume. So my aunt took those particular herbs and put it in the food, and that's why my mom was like, when she like ate the food, that's why it was a familiar taste, and then she had stopped eating it, but I mean she had already consumed it. So she was like that. She never wanted to tell me because she didn't want it like to be on my mind. She didn't want me to feel no type of way about it and everything. That's why she kept it from me. But growing up, when I tell y'all this stayed on my mind, like until she visited me, honestly, because I just carried around so much guilt. And not even just that, like I had aunts outside of Aunt Wanda, y'all. I had aunts in my family talking about me, saying I was the one that unalived my mom and had something to do with it because I was the last one to see her, to be with her while she was alive at the hospital. So going through that as a teenager and as an adolescent, like that shit was tough as fuck for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not close with my family. I got a couple cousins that I'm real cool with or whatever, my brother and sister, of course. But I'm not, because they have done so much damage in this world and in other realms. It has just been a lot. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here, y'all, because it's just so much, and a lot of the stuff I can't tell because, like I said, it's not my story. It is intertwined with mine, but it's not my story to put out there. The first time she passed away, it was with the food. She gave her some food, and she stepped in something in her yard, y'all. That was the first time when I told y'all she unalived at the hospital. And then this particular time, she gave her food again, but she used my mom best friend to bring her the food. To this day, the best friend don't even know. Like, she did come to my mom's funeral. She did keep in contact with us after my mom passed away, but she don't even know the depth of it. Like, she don't even know what she brought to my mom. You know what I'm saying? I never like try to find her, never try to reach out to her or nothing like that. But a lot of y'all have been hitting me up and telling me y'all stories, and that y'all want to put the stories out there, but you don't want to do it yourself or use your platform. So I am going to use my platform for that. So if any of y'all have any stories that you want me to share through my platform, we can be completely anonymous. Any names that you use is the names that I will use, whether they're real or fake. Send me a DM on here or on Instagram. Here will probably be better because I think Instagrams give like a character limit, so you can't write too many messages that are long. But everyone that listen to my life story on like what I've been through, what I've experienced, thank y'all for all the kind words, the blessings, the prayers. Thank y'all for just listening, because this is not something easy to talk about. This is hard as fuck to talk about. This is hard as fuck to relive, and hard as fuck to put your life on the internet for opinionated people. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to have a voice to share my experiences with y'all, because at the end of the day, this is not story time. This is my real life. You know what I'm saying? And I know my story is helping somebody else come forward and get out their story, because this has really helped me release. It really has. So thank y'all so much for listening to me.